Hello to all of you. I just came back from a trip in Europe a few days ago. And today I just want to share with you a little bit about the trip. And as well, I want to show you a little preparation about a special dish that I enjoyed while there. So I went to Italy first, visiting my brothers, and also as I was there, I had a great opportunity to have dinner at a very special restaurant. After that, I went on to Paris, and I will tell you a little bit about Paris, about the Vine Expo. But let's go back to this event that I participated with our president, Domenico Zonin, and also with some of the winemakers and managers of some of their wine estates in Tuscany, in Sicily, in Puglia, in the Veneto and in Piemonte. We went for dinner in a village called Carrù. Carrù is only about 30 minutes from Alba, where I was staying with my brother. My brother had a chance to come with me, which was excellent. So he could drive me to the dinner and drive me back. I was quite tired, so I was able to enjoy quite a bit of food and taste many different wines. The dish in particular that I will share with you is called Bollito Misto. Bollito Misto is a boiled meat from beef of different cuts that have quite a bit of fat within the marbling. And they are not the premium cuts like ribeye. They are minor cuts, the cuts that are not as valuable per se. And so I earlier spent some time to boil the meats, as you can see over here. And I'm going to show them to you. So they're here. We have some sirloin tip. We have also some brisket. And we have some back ribs. So I'm going to pull them out. They're very hot. So by the time I will finish preparing a special sauce that goes with it, they will cool off and I can handle them. So I will just extract them from here. The way they can rest a little bit. The brisket and the sirloin tip. And then also I cooked just a couple of ribs. They're going to be very hard to pull out because they're falling off the bone. There we go. What I put in here is very simple. Water, of course. Some onions, some carrots, a little bit, just two cloves, give a nice spice aromatics, and also some bay leaves and some peppercorns. I cook them simmering for about 4 hours. They're nice and soft, nice and tender. And so this is the tradition in Carrù to produce this type of dish goes way back. And in the past, they were not just using the classic beef cattle, but they were using ox meat. That ox they were used for in the farming, and when they were becoming at an older age, they were then used for consumption. And big animals, quite a bit of fat in the marbling, and so it became very important, the district of Carrù, because also not only they were enjoying this type of dish, but they were really raising a lot of ox for farming, for farms all over the north west of Italy in Piemonte. It's something that almost not disappeared, but became out of fashion, and then a few years passed, quite a few restaurants got together to reintroduce this very classic dish. And for now many years, there is an annual festival of the bue grasso, the fat ox of Carrù. So I was there. I enjoy a lot of great wine, great company. And the Bollito Misto is served with several different sauces. Some are based on horseradish, some are based on mustard. And one in particular that in Piemonte we use a lot is called salsa verde, because there is a lot of parsley that goes into as ingredients. So you see, this is a whole bunch of parsley. Other ingredients are very simple. Most of them may be in your home, but maybe one is not. It's anchovies. These are salt-packed anchovies. You can also use some that are in oil. They're absolutely fine. I really like more the salt-packed, a bit more intense. Anchovy is an ingredient that is very, very common in our cuisine in Piemonte. It used to be a region that was not as, they didn't have as easy supply to the seaside in Liguria, which now we can reach in about 45 minutes, but in the past was quite a journey. So we were using a lot of salted packed sardine. The packed sardines in this sauce, they bring a lot of great umami, which is something that now everybody uses a term which gives the richness, the depth. And in it also there is a tradition to put an egg yolk, and we break it down like so. A little bit of olive oil, quite a few capers. You can use salt packed or water preserved in water. And the important ingredient is bread that is cubed and then is soaked in vinegar and a little bit of wine. The vinegar comes from my cellar. I have a little oak barrel where sometimes when I don't finish a bottle of wine, it sits there a few days and it doesn't have as much more freshness. I pour it into this barrel that has been passed on for many, many years from my father, a starter. And then I also add a bit of Chardonnay. There is, of course, now they've been soaking quite a bit of vinegar, so I'm squeezing out some of it before I go in there. And then here we go then to work with a blender. If the proportions are such that perhaps the blender doesn't mix anything quite yet, you can then work with adding a little bit of oil to create a bit better blending. It is a little bit dry, so I'm going to add some olive oil, a bit more olive oil, and likely also I think a little bit of Chardonnay. If you put too much vinegar, it will get probably too dry. I probably either didn't soak enough this bread, or I didn't immerse it enough in the liquid of vinegar and water. I haven't done this salsa verde in a few years, so forgive me if I'm just correcting myself here. All right, now we're starting to come together. So the trip in France was quite exciting. The show lasted 3 days. We were pouring wine from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. for 3 days. There were 4 producers from Virginia. And the highlight of the event, I have to say, was a dinner that we did at a restaurant called Bistrot du Sommelier, a restaurant that goes back from the 1970s. And the owner chef in the 1980s won the competition as best sommelier of France, besides being an amazing chef. And the wine that we serve, among others, with other producers at this event was Octagon 2007 from Magnum, which was quite spectacular. And that was a highlight for me because at the end of the dinner, the chef approached me and told me, this is the best wine I ever tasted coming from the United States, and I tasted quite a few. And I have to tell you that your Bordeaux style wine, it's very comparable to some of the best Bordeaux that we have here in France, and also is very true to its vintage from 2007. So that to me was a moment where I passed the different tests, the test of a sommelier, but the test of a French sommelier that was happy to taste an American wine and made by an Italian winemaker. So I think it was really good, the wine. A little bit after his comment, his assistant came to me and told me, by the way, just to let you know that chef rarely makes compliments of this level unless he really believes that the wine is of such level. So the salsa verde almost ready. Okay, here it is. Let me just put it here. So now with a different cut of meat, like a cut that is more fat, like this one, in Piemonte we just serve the whole thing. Then you can yourself sort through the most fatty part. You want to separate them. And here the same. What really this salsa verde does, having quite high vinegar content, it gives a lot of acidity to the dish that is quite fat. Similarly, when we do some barbecues, there are some sauces with barbecue that are very high in vinegar. It cuts the intensity of the fat. And so then we cut some of the brisket. On the side, this is the sirloin tip, which also looks very delicious and very, very tender. There are many other cuts that we do in Piemonte. The total, the 7 classic cuts, the classic cuts are up to 7. So that evening we have 7 different cuts. We have 6 different sauces. And here I just recreated just a small portion of what was our great experience there. We drank, of course, wines from local wines like Barolo and Barbaresco, but also wines from the Italian estate of the Zuning family, wines from Tuscany, wine from Sicily, and one from Veneto. Since we are in Barbasol, I'm going to pair it with wine typically grown in the area where Carrù is, our Nebbiolo 2021. Fantastic vintage. We just released it just a few weeks ago, and I hope to see you on the estate. And now I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy a little taste of this beautiful Bollito, and I will see you likely next week.